Hi everybody, it's Marco Robinson. Today is Thursday, the 30th of January 2014. This is my New Year's message to all our Wealth Revolution members. It's a fantastic day. We're actually in my new restaurant called Naked, as you can see here. And if you follow me around, you can see this is the kitchen where we are. Kitchen upstairs, nice restaurant upstairs, and downstairs we've got a very big venue. And after I've finished, I'll take you downstairs so you can actually see a bit of a tour on it. Now, Naked Restaurant is a business I started in December last year. It's going fantastically well. It's a franchise business, great for entrepreneurs. And this year you'll see one of our programs called the Naked Entrepreneur, which is a great program to basically start a business without really a lot of capital, with a great brand that you can start making money from. But the reason I'm here today is to really give you a message to really talk about three things. Now, last year we had a fantastic year in terms of making money from the investments that we chose. We made a few mistakes, we took the feedback from that, but generally we got most of the things right, especially in terms of the education we gave our members and of course the investments we carefully chose for them. You'll be very happy to know that the people that have invested in the Wealth Revolution properties or funds or any kind of investment have made fantastic positive cash flow. The Australian fund has given 24% consistently paid every month, and our members have repeatedly reinvested into that fund because they want to get more cash flow so they can fire the boss because they've replaced the salary. Now on that fund, that's virtually sold out. So if you want to reinvest in that, you've got really, I would say, a couple of weeks to do it before it closes off. But I'll talk about that a little bit more about that later. But the first thing I'll talk about really is something called feedback. Now we've taken a lot of feedback from last year and we've looked at the things we did wrong or could have done better. What we've done is we've looked at the way our suppliers have been servicing you as members in terms of when you actually make an acquisition, how does the follow through happen, how does the back end work, how do you get service? Now we've told our suppliers that they need to service you better in terms of what expectations you want. And to do this we've actually done it jointly with our suppliers, and we've actually hired 6 new staff that have already started in this business, and these 6 new staff are based all around the world, but generally in Asia, and we've got a couple of people now starting in the UK because the UK is now one of our new markets we'll be entering next month. Now these 6 new staff are designed and there to help you basically get more information about your investments, to get more feedback from you of what you want, and of course to generally help you anytime you contact us and whatever you request that you have. So the first thing is feedback. Now, on that subject, feedback is also down to you. That means if you look at last year and you take all the things and the decisions that you made, if you take that feedback, what things did you do right and what things did you do wrong? Now, I constantly do that on a daily basis to make sure that we constantly improve what we do, and I constantly improve what I personally do in my life. That comes in family, personal, business, every single area. So what things can you change that you've done wrong? And once you've identified what you've done wrong, how can you put it right? Now the great thing about the Wealth Revolution Group is we are the only organisation in the world that has a group of mentors who are experts in their field that are there to help you overcome those mistakes and put those things right. What we're about, always, people keep asking me what we're about. It's financial freedom, guys. That's really one thing, but financial freedom covers so many areas because when you are financially free, you can do what you want to do. And I've got the life of my dreams. I travel every month all over the world. I do what I love to do all of the time. Nothing I do is something I don't want to do. Everything I do is something I love to do. And that's something that really a lot of people crave and would love to have. But to do that, there's a process and there's a blueprint. And really, like the word naked says there, the naked truth really is that you have to get really naked in terms of, is that true, is that wrong, is that right? And really reveal all of the feedback so you can make a proper decision on it. But any decision you make, especially financially, will obviously can create great things, but also can create disasters if you're not too careful about it. So the message of 2014 is to learn from your mistakes and make the changes and rectify those mistakes as fast as possible using the resources you have available through us. There's no better organisation in the world that has coaches anywhere near what we're offering to you as members. Now the second thing is to invest. Now, of course, if you want to be financially free, if you want to have positive cash flow on your investments, if you want to change your life so you don't have to work again and worry about retirement, you have to invest. Now, this is not just investing in properties or funds or stock market. This is about primarily investing in yourself. So what things can you do to invest in yourself that you're not doing now? And the most popular excuse I get when I talk to my students is they don't have the time to invest in themselves and learn different things because they're always working. Well, I don't agree with that, because I believe, and it's been proven to be true, that if you just spend 1 or 2 hours a day learning new things that can help you leave that job you don't want to do and help you make some cash flow, which you desperately need to do that, then your life will change dramatically. And that's the thing you've got to do. You've got to be prepared to sacrifice the time you have and start investing that time into educating yourself how to be a better person, self-improve, how to be more confident, how to generate residual income, how to invest properly, how to have a stronger mindset, how to overcome problems and challenges, how to overcome negative people in your life. Those things are constantly going on all over the place. Now, we're very glad to say that we've taken the feedback from our students last year, and we've actually created some different programs in 2014 to help you install those new programs to help you get to the next level in your life. Now, one of those things, as we started last year, we experimented. We did a 5-day retreat to Bali. We did this jointly with Port County students in Australia, and it was an absolute raging success. The reason it was a raging success is because you were taken out of your environment where you live into a completely new environment where you were not distracted by work, family, kids, or anything else, including TV. And because of that environment, our students got the most growth they've ever got with our programs, because they had dedicated help and they had the space to work on themselves and really think about what they wanted to do. Now, we're very happy to announce that we're going to be delivering those 5-day retreats this year in Bali and other places. And our coaches are going to be available there. And it's really a fantastic thing to do in your life, because in those 5 days you can change so much that you never thought possible before. We're also doing more webinars, but what we want to do is we put more programs on, but as Woody Allen says, 80% of the success in your life is showing up. So if you're not at a webinar when we put it on, if you're not at an event when we put it on, if you're not attending a mentoring program, if you're not attending a retreat, that means really you're sabotaging your own success. The reason I say that is because the people that are doing the webinars, the mentoring, and the workshops, and the retreats, already financially free, already millionaires, and already don't need to do anything else. They don't need to help you, they just do it because they love to do it. But if you're not turning up to those programs, even just a webinar online, it really means that you don't want to be financially free, you don't want success, and you want to keep staying where you are because you think that's comfortable in some kind of perverted way, but actually it's not. What's going to happen is that 98% of you are going to retire financially broke. That is a fact. Now, the Australians that are listening to this, when you retire, the average superannuation is going to give you $200,000 for your retirement for the next 25 years when you retire. That's nowhere near enough. How the hell are you going to survive on that? Singaporeans, Malaysians, English people are in a similar position to that. You're going to get less when you're retire. What are you going to do about that? So the second message is to really invest in yourself first. Because you understand that you can make empowered decisions without feeling fear, without feeling regret, without feeling indecisive. And that's what you've really got to do. You've really got to work on yourself. And you've got to see the naked truth. You've got to get the feedback from around you and see what's going on. Now, the third thing I want to talk about, the last thing I want to talk about today, is something called invest wisely. Now, I've been investing for the last 10 years in different kinds of things and been very successful at doing that. And the reason I'm successful at doing that, and the reason why my students are successful at doing that when they buy through us, is because we take very, very, very special care of what we invest in. Now, I'm on about 15 to 20 mailing lists around the world, and I get properties offered to me just like you do around the world, all over the world, promising this, promising that, and promising the other. For example, only today I received an email trying to sell me a student's property in Bradford, England, giving 10% return for the next 7 years guaranteed. And let me share something with you. That's an example. I won't mention company names, I won't mention sources, suppliers, but as an example, I would never ever buy in Bradford, I would never ever buy in the area, and the reasons I would not buy in the area is because I've been to Bradford and I know all about that place and all the economic data, including demographics, development plan, and of course the economic factors that run through the whole country. And Bradford is absolutely a no-no. I mean, it just would not perform the way it says it does in the advert. And what you've got to do, you've got to get the naked truth behind that advert, really what's that investment all about? What are the demographics? Is the population growing there? What kind of people are going to rent those properties from you? Is the university admissions increasing or decreasing? What's happening to the development plan? What are they going to do to develop the area, to cater for students and all this kind of thing? Well, when you actually reveal the naked truth, you'll see that those things aren't really there. But what you have to do is invest wisely. Now, I don't mind you investing elsewhere if it works out. But I'd obviously love you to invest with us, because every one of our investments would normally take 6 months for us to judge, develop, and really research a proper offer that we could release to our members, and that I could put my name behind to say, well, this is a pretty good investment. And every investment that I've released to you this year, I have personally invested in myself, and they've all worked out in your favour, which is a great thing. And you know, if you look at it objectively, how many people do you know, how many organisations do you know that can actually offer that consistency? So what we do is we really take care in how we source developments. And if you come to me with a development and say, Marco, this is fantastic, I want to invest in this, I will give you the naked truth and I will give you feedback so you can understand, is it good? Is it as good as it says it is? Because if it was, I'm telling you now, I would have already invested in it myself. Now that doesn't mean that you're not going to find anything better than me, because the world's a big place and you can find opportunities. And if you do find opportunities, you know, as an investor, I would love to invest with you. But before we do that, we have to invest wisely. We have to look at every angle. And those angles and those facts and information have actually been taught that on our boot camps and our webinars. And we're going to repeat those webinars again and again for you. We're going to add more information to the webinars and those boot camps and those mentoring programs. And of course, when we do that, we record them and we put them on the membership site of the Wealth Revolution Group. So you can go on that site and you can look at what's going on, and you can look at what you've done before and you can review it, because the mother of learning is repetition. You have to repeat again and again and again what you've learned. Otherwise, you don't master what you're supposed to learn. So this is the year of the horse. For me, it doesn't make any difference if it's the year of the horse, the giraffe, the rat, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's a new year. What that means is you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to get the feedback. You've got to learn fast, because the world moves very fast these days. If you don't learn fast, you're going to get left behind. And it's not just about property, it's about generating incomes from different kind of sources, whether it's a business, whether it's property, whether it's a stock market, other things like that. So the message really is for me, invest in yourself, learn fast, get on as many learning programs as you can with a ravaging desire to learn as fast as you can. Ask me questions, ask our mentors questions, and email us, phone us, do what you want to do, and please watch what you've done before and attend the events that we put on. This is Marco Robinson, happily reporting from the Naked Restaurant in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.